Welcome back everyone. Today we are going to start chapter 4, Growing Up as Boys and Girls. Being a boy or a girl is an important part of one's identity. The society we grow up in teaches us what kind of behavior is acceptable for girls and boys, what boys and girls can or cannot do. We often grow up thinking that these things are exactly the same everywhere. So we think that what type of behavior we are taught should be applicable in everywhere and in every country. But do all societies look at boys and girls in the same way? We will try and answer this question in this chapter. We will also look at how the different rules assigned to boys and girls prepare them for their future roles as men and women. We will learn that most societies value men and women differently. The roles women play and the work they do are usually valued less than the roles men play and the work they do. This chapter will also examine how inequalities between men and women emerge in the area of the work. So, growing up in Samoa in the 1920s, the Samoan Islands are part of a large group of small islands in the southern part of the Pacific Ocean. In the 1920s, according to research reports on Samoan society, children did not go to school. They learned many things such as how to take care of children or do household work from older children and from adults. Fishing was very important activity on the islands. Young people therefore learned to undertake long fishing expeditions, but they learned these things at different points in their childhood. So you can see a boy of 7th class of Samoan child in his uniform. As soon as baby could walk, their mother or other adults no longer looked after them. Older children, often as young as 5 years old, took over the responsibility. The boys and girls looked after their younger siblings, but by the time a boy was about 9 years old, he joined the older boys in learning outdoor jobs like fishing and planting coconuts. Girls had to continue looking after small children or do errands for adults till they were teenagers, but once they became teenagers, they had much more freedom. After the age of 14 or so, girls also went on fishing trips, worked in the plantations, learned how to weave baskets. Cooking was done in special cooking houses where boys were supposed to do most of the work while girls helped with preparations. So you can see girls are going to school together. Growing up male in Madhya Pradesh in 1960s. The following is adapted from an account of an experience of being in a small town in Madhya Pradesh in 1960s. From class 6 onward, boys and girls went to separate school. The girls' schools was designed very differently from the boys' schools. And they had a central courtyard where they played in total seclusion and safety from outside world. The boys' school had no such courtyards and our playgrounds was just a big space attached to the school. Every evening once school was over, the boys watched as 100 schoolgirls crowded the narrow streets. As these girls walked on the street, they looked so purposeful. This was unlike the boys who used the street as place to stand around idling, to play, to try out tricks with their bicycles. For the girls, the street was simply a place to get straight home. The girls always went in groups, perhaps because they also carried fears of being teased or attacked. After reading the two examples above, we realize that there are many different ways of growing up. Often we think that there is only one way in which children grow up. This is because we are almost familiar with our own experiences. If we talk to elders in a family, we will see that their childhood were probably very different from ours. So the elders' childhood was probably very different from ours. So you should ask your parents and others who are elder than you. We also realize that societies make clear distinctions between boys and girls. This begins from a very young age. We are, for example, given different toys to play. Boys are usually given car to play with and girls dolls. Both toys can be a lot of fun to play with. Why are girls given dolls and boys cars? Toys become a way of telling children that they will have different futures when they become men and women. If we think about it, the difference is created in the smallest and most everyday things. How girls must dress, what games boys should play, how girls need to talk softly and boys need to be tough. All these are ways of telling children that they have specific roles to play when they grow up, to be a man and woman. Later in life, this affects the subject we can study and the career we can choose. In most societies, including our own, the role men and women play and the work they do are not valued equally. Men and women do not have the same status. Let us look into at how the differences exist in the work done by men and women. My mother does not work. Ma, we are going on a school excursion. Rosie ma'am needs volunteers. Can't you take a holiday from office and volunteer? Harmit's mother always come for excursions because she doesn't work. Shonali, how can you say that you know that Jasprit auntie is up at 5 a.m. every day doing all the housework? Yes, but that's not real work. It's just housework. Oh, that's what you think, do you? Let's go over to their house and ask Jasprit what she thinks. So they went to Jasprit Singh's house. Harsharan, Shonali thinks that your wife is not a working person. Ha ha ha. But isn't that correct, auntie? My mother is a housewife. She does not work. Then Jasprit, why don't you just relax and let them manage everything for a change? Great idea. Okay, I'll go on strike tomorrow, Jasprit said. What fun. We'll take care of everything tomorrow with Papa. Yay. Next morning, 7:30 am. Oh God, look at the time. Where's my breakfast? Why aren't the children ready? How would I know? I'm on strike, remember? Besides, Mangala has also taken leave today. Oh ho, that's the school bus. I'll have to drop them in the car. The bus is honking. Hurry, hurry, and ask Hermit to switch on the pump. So Jasprit is on strike and they are troubled. But what about the kids' lunch boxes? Oh no, forget about that. I'll give you some money. Just buy something from the canteen today. Ma already gave us money for that. Evening 6 p.m. Ding ding. I am exhausted. How about some tea? Oh, I forgot your strike. I'll make some tea, some myself. The house looked like it was hit by a hurricane. Did you expect it to remain in exactly the same condition in which you left it this morning, dear? Hermit, where on earth are the tea leaves? He he. I wonder if they still believe I don't work. And now I have to remind them that Chachaji and Chachiji are coming for dinner. So Jasprit worked so hard in her house, but her husband or the children doesn't know that. Valuing housework. Hermit's family did not think that the work did within the house was real work. This feeling is not unique to their families. Across the world, the main responsibility for housework and caregiving tasks like looking after the family, especially children, the elder and sick members, lies with women. Yet, as we have seen, the work that women do within the house is not recognized as work. It is also assumed that this is something that comes naturally to women. It therefore does not have to be paid for, and society devalues this work. Lives of domestic workers. In the story above, Hermit's mother was not the only one who did the housework. A lot of the work was done by Mangala, their domestic helper. Many homes, particularly in towns and cities, employ domestic workers. They do a lot of work, sweeping, cleaning, washing clothes and dishes, cooking, looking after young children or the elderly. Most domestic workers are women. Sometimes even young boys or girls are employed to do this work. Wages are low as domestic work does not have much value. A domestic worker day can begin as early as 5 in the morning and end as late as 12 at night. Despite the hard work they do, their employers often do not show them much respect. This is what Melanie, her picture is here, a domestic worker had to say about her experience of working in Delhi. My first job was a rich family that lived in a 3-storied house. The Mem Sahib was very strange as she would shout to get any work done. My work was in the kitchen. There were 2 other girls who did the cleaning. Our day would begin at 5 o'clock. For breakfast, we would get a cup of tea and 2 dry rotis. We could never get a third roti. In the evening, when I cooked the food, the 2 other girls would beg me to give them an extra roti. I would secretly give it to them and make an extra one for myself. We were so hungry after walking through the day. We could not wear chappals in the house. In the winter, our feet would swell up with the cold. I used to feel scared of the Memsai but also felt angry and humiliated. Did we not work all day? Did we not deserve to be treated with some respect? In fact, what we commonly term as housework actually involves many different tasks. A number of these tasks require heavy physical work. In both rural and urban areas, women and girls have to fetch water. In areas, women and girls carry heavy loads of firewood. Tasks like washing clothes, cleaning, sweeping, and picking up loads like bending, lifting, and carrying. Many chores like cooking involve standing for long hours in front of the hot stove. The work women do is strenuous and physically demanding, words that we normally associate with men. Another aspect of housework and caregiving that we do not recognize is that it is very time consuming. In fact, if we add up the housework and the work women do outside the home, we find that women spend much more time working than men and have much less time for leisure. Below are the some data from a special study done by the Central Statistical Organization of India from 1998 to 1999. See if we can fill in the blanks. So you can see in the state of Haryana and Tamil Nadu, women paid hour per week is 23, and in Tamil Nadu 19, women unpaid housework per week 30 and 35. Total women, there is a question mark, and men paid work hour per week is 38 and 40. So here is the work hour and here is the work hour, and the unpaid work hour of women is this, and unpaid work hour of men is 2 and 4. So it is too much less, but woman is working too much hard, but the work outside is men are working like almost double. Women's work and equality. As we have seen, the low value attached to women's household and caregiving work is not an individual or family matter. It is part of a larger system of inequality between men and women. It therefore has to be dealt with thorough action, not just as an level of an individual or family, but also by the government. As we now know, equality is an important principle of our constitution. The constitution says that being male or female should not become a reason for discrimination. In reality, inequality between the sexes exists. The government is therefore committed to understand the reasons for this and taking positive steps for remedy of the situation. For example, it recognizes that burden of child care and housework falls on women and girls. So you can see here are children at Anganwadi center in a village of Madhya Pradesh. So you can see Anganwadi children and teacher teaching them. This naturally has an impact on whether girls can attend school. It determines whether women can work outside the house and what kind of jobs and career they can have. The government has set up Anganwadis or child care centers in several villages in the country. The government has passed laws that make it mandatory for organizations that have more than 30 women employees to provide crèche facilities. The provision of crèches helps many women to take up employment outside the home. It also makes it possible for more girls to attend school. So here is a sustainable development goal. Equality gender is the goal number 5. Gender equality. So you can see. So here is a picture. So you have to. Here it says, मैं हर कहीं मौजूद मेरी अनदेखी और नहीं संभव, कौन सी वह तुम्हारी उपलब्धि जिसमें मेरा नहीं यह भाग, औरत को चाहिए अपना अधिकार. So you can see woman is working in the field, woman is riding bikes and they are taking care of the baby, and they are in the courts also. So they are showing the importance of women. So you can see a Bangla picture in which the woman is having a 10 hand where she is carrying a baby. She has a broom in her hand, spoons, bucket with full of clothes, water carrying pot. So it shows the importance of woman, that she works too much but is not recognized by the people in general. So here the chapter is finished. and we will start the next chapter in the next class. Thank you.